TV crews were allowed to follow American soldiers into battle and capture it all on camera.
MPs have gone into the embassy and are trying to get the snipers out.
It had never happened before, and it's never happened quite like it since.
That's me, right there.
It allows us to tell the story of the war as it happened, to find the people in the footage, and half a century later, reunite them.
Oh, I'm so glad to see you.
You may have seen movies about Vietnam, but this is the real story, told only by those who were there.
Good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. It is Tuesday, March the 9th, 1965, and March has certainly been so far a wonderful month.
I was 18, came home from work one day, and my mother was sitting on the stoop crying. My father was there with a brown envelope in his hand, laughing, saluting. And I opened it up, and it said, "Greetings and salutations. Your friends and neighbors have elected you to serve in the armed forces of the United States of America. You are going to Vietnam." I didn't even know what it was.
Typical American boys here are being drafted. This is the nation's largest induction center.
I was 17 years old, and they had this whole thing of military ritual. I've always wanted to be a hero. Yeah, why not? You watch John Wayne. I mean, all we had were the movies. That's all we knew about war.
July 1965. America has sent 75,000 combat troops to fight against communist North Vietnam. Many are teenagers just out of high school.
I was a kid in Garland, Texas. I just wanted to be like my daddy, tried to serve our country, but I was still shy. You know, I never had a date till I was about 17. You know, I was sitting back with a big old army plane, probably a couple of hundred men. But that's when I met Bowman. We sat right next to each other. Bowman was streetwise. He wouldn't be afraid to get in a fight with anybody. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to be around him, because he's, you know, he protects me. There was a guy in my unit called Gary. He said, "Captain, if you don't mind," he said, I'd like to get assigned with Bowman over there, you know. Over there. Who is this guy? I don't know this guy. What's he going to be assigned with me for, you know? Gary was young and kind of naive and stuff, you know. We taught him how to smoke and how to drink beer, and so I guess from that day on, he was like my, I guess you'd call my little brother, you know. Jet finally landed, and opened the back door, and it was like you opened the oven on the stove at 500 degrees. That heat just came into the plane and just like smacked you in the face.
thing that hits them is the camera crews. Their experience will be filmed like no other previous war.
How does it feel to be in Vietnam now, soldier?
Well, I'm glad to be here.
You glad to be off that ship?
Yes, I am.
How does it feel to be here in Vietnam, soldier?
Oh, it's pretty hot. Pretty hot. But here it is.
Thank you very much and good luck to you.
Thanks a lot.
哦，蓝的鸡巴，开什么蓝胶洞？
First of all,
我真的跟您不发了，
tickle a debt to have y'all in A company. It's the best company
几两了？
battalion of that battalion in this division. I'd like for all of you to write your mother.
老啥子你可以3位老子，啥子你可以鸡巴3位老是不是？跟您发 green，
Been well taken care of in city.
那你又不要3位？我蓝的干部鸡巴啦！
Let me give you some information. First of all, don't piss anybody off because everybody carries a weapon. And he says sometime this year you will go crazy. Maybe more than once, but you will go crazy sometime this year. And we just kind of all laughed and snickered about that, but he was 100% on the mark.
The U.S. military is putting itself in the middle of a civil war between communist North Vietnam and America's ally, South Vietnam.
Vietnamese communists. Everybody calls them VC.
And before the politicians or the American people, it's the soldiers on the ground who are the first to realize this war is not going to be what they thought.
Been in command of that company for about a month. And my belief is it's time for me to earn my pay. I've been to Ranger School, Special Forces, etc. But this is the first time those soldiers ever been to battle. They will follow me and trust me if they think I'm competent.
Camera crew captures one of the first encounters with the enemy. When a young Vietnamese soldier emerges from the jungle. He's cut off from his unit and he's terrified.
We captured a few prisoners. We had a Vietnamese interpreter with us. And he said, "What are you doing here?" And he said, "Well, we're here to kill Americans." "Oh, yeah? Well, where are your forces?" And he points to the ridge and said, "Well, there's a regiment there, and there's a half regiment over there. Then there's more east of us."
outnumbered 15 to 1. I was scared to death. But I go with my 2 radio operators, and we move forward. We were pinned down with incoming fire.
I thought, here I am in command for 30 days, and the survival of this battalion with those forces around rests on defending this landing zone.
If they are to get out there alive, they need to hold the area where helicopters can land. For 6 hours, they hold their position. But then things get more complicated. News comes through that a nearby platoon has been surrounded.
I got my troops together, as many as I could, and I gave them a pep talk. These are your friends, your buddies, and we're going to go bring them back. And you're going to follow me, because I'm going to lead the way. Now, fix your bayonets and let's go.